merely a digital addition to your head?
No, it's I've got a range of options in terms of my headgear.
I'm wondering if I should put my gown on and hood.
Fedora best.
An academic off, you two. Are you working the Van Morrison look there?
Yeah, I think
it's the George Galloway. It's the George Galloway look with that fedora.
Oh no! Now you've blown it. I go back to the berry.
Anyway, we're opening with Spin with Muji.
And he drifts onto the pads. It's prodded out by Rizwan into the leg side. No run, fielded at the short mid-wicket. Mujib is, an interesting choice to open the bowling, isn't it? Right arm over the wicket, drifting into the right-hander. Slightly full this time, and is clipped out to straightish mid-on. Long on his back, so there's a single there. Back, I couldn't quite see how far, whether on the fence or just outside the circle. Was that a jingle starter? I don't think it was. Just a weird noise. It was a weird noise made by Bear's Beverage, if I've read the image correctly. Anyway, Pakistan with a target of 148 without loss after 2. As Mujib bowls back over the length, flighted up, sat up in the pitch a little bit. Babar couldn't pierce the infield, finds extra cover, no run. One without loss after 3 balls halfway through this first over, as Messi Jez plays with his virtual headgear. Mujib in right arm over the wicket, again back of the length. This time it's smeared.
ठीक ठाक है उठे बैठ जाओ और सुनाओ भाई
Says Afghanistan. Discount them at your peril.
Huh?
The drunkenness dash is not home.
You did a session with Chris as well, because I remember. And a shout out to North Iqbal, Usama Shah, Abdul Khan, Farman Khan, Akhtar Malik, Israqa Khan, Sahab, Zahud Ali, and all the others.
And opening from what I should refer to as the other end is this man.
अच्छा जी की मसला मेरे का सिखा हाँ अच्छा जी
The captain Nabi bowling right arm round the wicket.
बड़ी गंदी परफॉर्मेंस यार दिखाई आखिरी ओवर
worked out for a single to mid-wicket.
क्या निशानी आखिरी ओवर बड़ी गंदी
4
परफॉर्मेंस
without loss. Nice inauspicious start to what could be a tricky chase. I'd still have Pakistan as favourites, chasing down 147, but Afghanistan, like any team, always in with a chance in a T20, as this time good length ball sits up a touch, is prodded out behind square on the leg side by Babar, who the batsman complete a quick single. It was very, very purposeful, intentful running sorry, by the batters. My mistake, not behind square, it was to mid-wicket, within the circle, on the 1. However, the direct hit missed. There was no direct hit. Good piece of running, really taking the game to the fielding side. Nabi around the wicket, again from wide of the crease, this time drifting across the right-handed one. Cuts, doesn't quite get hold of it, just beats the man at that point. It's fielded, running in from third man, and there is a single. 3 singles off the first 3 balls of this second over. The scorecard ticks over. This time, filthy ball down the leg side, can't quite get it away, goes too short, fine leg. 1. I'm surprised to see so many fielders conceding a single to the circle at this stage of the innings. I'd have thought with a relatively small total total on the board that the Afghan fielders might be in a few yards from the circle, just making sure they're on the one. But they're not. Nabi this time floats the ball up. Lovely delivery. Tossed a little bit higher, I think slowed down a little bit more, and Babar is through the shot a little bit early. Rizwan, my mistake, can't get off the strip, no run, as this time is completely over. Rizwan drops down onto one knee, plays the easiest, gentlest of slog sweeps down deep back the square, bounces just inside the ropes, and then bounces over them for runs.
It's me, Sanshi.
So Jess, can you get the Nizari, it's like a traditional Pashtun hat? You might have to Google it on your sort of hat app that you.
That'd be amazing.
Honestly, if you can, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm afraid I can't. I only have the options that Zoom has provided.
It won't let you install new options? I mean, you can download Zoom backgrounds. Surely you can also download Zoom hats. I mean, you can download backgrounds. I've been with so many people who've joined in meetings with the background from the Blinkling Hall in Norfolk, the National Trust property.
Yeah, that's not an option on the video filters. It is on the virtual backgrounds.
What a pity. But we've got you fucking muppet. Mujib will continue at this end, as it shall be known, and is worked by Babar off the back foot towards mid-off. Again, the batsmen scamper a single. Win predictor has Pakistan at 68%. I'd say that's more or less fair. Any thoughts either way?
No, that's fair to me.
If that's right, then you'd expect Pakistan to win 2 out of 3 from this stage, but it's by no means nailed on, as this time Rizwan looks to move the feet but can't quite get hold of the ball, can only push it out towards into the ground, no run. Mujib in this time drifts onto the pads, and Rizwan drops onto one knee, can't quite get hold of this time. All he can do is pick out the fielder at deep backward square on the boundary, placed there for the repeat of the last shot. That key first wicket has fallen. Pakistan, halfway through the third, are 12 for 1.
बेटा ये बर्तन उठा लो।
Would have cleared the ropes quite comfortably had the fielder not been there. It had enough legs on it to get over the rope. However, there was the fielder there, moving 2 or 3 metres to his right and taking the catch well. Not a fiendishly difficult one, nonetheless did a good job to keep hold of it and, more importantly, to keep both feet inside the ropes. Perhaps just the start of a swing of the needle of balance in this game towards the fielding side of this stage. We can hope for an absolutely thrilling run chase, can we not?
Yeah, I hope so. Naveen will hack sort of take there on the boundary. I mean, maybe I'm a bit jaded by watching so many Bangladesh matches and drop catches, but I always have my sort of heart in the mouth a little bit for Afghanistan when the ball goes over there. But no, took it nice and safely. This is service, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm being delivered crisps. I'm being delivered. No, I'm not being. I'm not being delivered crisps. The crisps are being used to take the wine away from me. I will not.
Oh, well, that was a decent-sized glass you poured for yourself. I think we should put on a viewer warning for the final session you're on for.
Najib continues to the as yet un-up-jingled new batter, who works the ball left-handed out towards short mid-wicket for no run. There, let's jingle him up.
White shoes, left and back, what's he gonna do? He'll hit the ball, run as fast as he can. Every girl's crazy for the Gaza man.
Touch shorter this time from Mujib. Zaman works the ball out again onto the leg side, but this time just forward of square, and the batsmen are able to canter through for a single. Was that a canter or an amble? Certainly there was no rush needed. Mujib over the wicket this time, drifting onto the pads of the right-handed Babar, who smites the ball out along the ground towards deep mid-wicket. The batters are able to take 2 runs off that last ball of the over, at the end of which Pakistan, scoring at 5 and over for the loss of that 1 wicket, are 15 for 1, their target 148. What say our tweeters?
Well, only one of them so far, Warren, who's been infected by my masks and so on, has tweeted a picture of himself now wearing a hat and a mask and a coloured beard as a result of finding similar filters on the internet.
Is it a sufficiently good tweet that you need to retweet it from our channels, or is it a sufficiently bad tweet that you need to block him from?
I think it's okay. It's okay to stay there. I don't think it'll be exciting enough for all the cricket to actually retweet. I'm sorry, Warren.
My apologies to all. I've been delivered some crisps as distraction for getting that wine away. I'm going to try and refrain from eating those online, on air, because that would be hideous. And again, continuing from that end is the captain, Nabi. The ball is worked out by Zaman to wide mid-wicket. I think there was a single there. They didn't take one. No run.
Sure they did take one, didn't
they? They did take one, my bad. They once again, they took it so quickly, but by the time I'd looked up, they had already completed. Really purposeful running from these Pakistan top order. They're looking to take the singles where they are, taking on the arm. I think that's the right approach. I was surprised that the Afghani batters did not take that approach in their own innings. They were much more hesitant between the wickets, as this time Nabi floats the ball up on Babar's stumps towards his legs. He clips the ball out to straightish deep mid-wicket along the ground for a single. 2 so far off the over. Again, those singles will keep this target absolutely manageable. If they can score at a runner ball most of the time, then there shouldn't be much problem accelerating to get to that target of 148. Afghanistan need wickets. Nabi round the wicket to the left-handed Zaman, who cuts the ball deftly, very gently, hardly even off the square to backward point. So deftly, though, so gently that there was time before it's picked up cleanly and returned to the wicketkeeper for the batters to complete a hasty single. Again, good rotation of the strike, and more importantly, good movement through the runs on the scoreboard. Nabi again floats the ball up outside the off stump of Babar, who pushes towards cover, and again the batters complete a single where I really think these fielders should be there on the 1.
I think it's different experience of playing though, isn't it? I would say as a unit, Afghanistan probably haven't played that much together in recent times, whereas Pakistan have, and it's showing because they're much more aggressive when taking the singles.
Absolutely. As this time Zaman steps back, hoiks the ball, not prettily, but effectively out towards mid-wicket, left-handed bat, lots and lots of bottom hand in that shot. Didn't quite get hold of it. It was more of a hoik than anything else, but it was safe. It was relatively flat over the infield. Actually, not far out of reach of the fielder. Did you see who that was, Jules? At shortish mid-wicket. An orthodox mid-wicket on the circle, it would have been completely down his throat, but they get a 4 runs there, as this time a far, far better shot from Zaman, moving his feet, turning the ball into a half volley, clipping it off his ankles over the deep mid-wicket boundary for an absolutely huge 6. 4 and 6 to complete the over. Let's have those 2 jingles there.
Shall we carry on, Beth?
No, did I talk over? No jingles. Am I just talking too much? My apologies. My descriptions of play.
Yes, you are talking too much.
Rather too effectively lubricated by this lovely New Zealand Pinot that I'm drinking. At the end of the 4th over, Pakistan are 29 for 1, but moving in 2 balls from 19 to 21. Real good intent there from the Pakistani batters. Jules, Mujib continuing over the wicket to Babar. Problem with spin as well, it's clipped out towards mid-wicket, short mid-wicket for no run. Nice, important dot ball. It's particularly difficult starting with spin. There's so much less time between deliveries. The full description will take you all the way to the next one. Single. Jules, yes, you were saying that relative difference in experience between the two sides and their ability to work together as a unit, really showing both in the field and perhaps even more importantly in the running between the wickets of these two sides.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to change anytime soon for Afghanistan either. I mean, you can see this is where you sort of have a free-tier approach when it comes to T20s.
Mujib round the wicket to the left-hander. It's clipped off his pads towards square leg. There's no fielder there. It has to be fielded running round from wide mid-wicket. The batsman complete a single.
Because Afghanistan are far better than a lot of the, you can't call them, I'm going to call them associate nations, but they just are not getting games against the bigger nations, and that's the difference.
Mujib over the wicket to the right-hander. Babad looks to step away, make room for the offside, can only pick out cover, no run.
Rashid Khan there was in danger of falling over backwards trying to field that ball, which is the last thing you want to do, see him injured.
No, it would be a terrible sprain to knee or shoulder or something. You really don't want to see his shoulder go, to bowling shoulder go. As Mujib this time drags it a little bit short to Babar, who can't take advantage. Under edges is out. An attempted pull, but can only dribble along the ground to mid-wicket, no run.
So they touched on this fantasy. Is there actually like a fantasy cricket team that you can pick for this tournament?
As this time Mujib floats up, almost Yorker length. You wouldn't call it a Yorker because it's spinner. Zaman looks to drive down the ground, can't quite get hold of it. Nice inventive bit of bowling there from Mujib, sorry, my mistake. Keeps him to one. There was really tempting the batter with a straight drive, which he went for, but the lovely piece of fielding by Mujib off his own bowling to keep the dot ball. Better over there from Afghanistan, just a 2 off it. Pakistan 31 for 1 after 5. 1 over remaining in this power play. Pakistan need a further 117 off 90 balls. Again, you'd bet on them to do it, wouldn't it? In fact, speaking of which, what odds can we get at this stage?
The odds are actually back down to $2.60 on Afghanistan and $1.50 on Pakistan.
So Pakistan are a touch cheap on that.
Yeah.
Change your bowler, let's have the jingle. Amateurs. I don't know if this is the sound of a jingle.
You've had an impact on Chris, child of the corner. He's off to buy us
Naveen bowls a leg stump half volley to Zaman, who cannot capitalise, drives crisply to mid-on, no run.
You're getting some fat in the mallow. Neil Harris says we're listening to a one-man guerrilla cricket broadcast. And Chris Child of the Corn says Joss's full commentary is stream of consciousness mode. Love it. Lucid yet lubricated.
Naveen over the wicket to the left-hander. It's across him. He waits for the ball onto the bat. That is an absolutely beautiful limited over stroke. He hung his bat out there, didn't play a full-blooded cut. He just dabbed it down, not even ran it down. He dabbed it down into the ground in front of where Gully would be in a first-class game. But of course, into the ground, slows the ball before it reaches backward point, allows the batters ample time to take not even a hasty single. Lovely, lovely piece of batting there.
We're watching multiple replays of Naveen or Hack bowling actually, which is, purely lovely.
It is lovely. I'm definitely getting both hard and juicy watching it. I can't speak for you three. It's really really quite arousing.
He just looked off to the right hand side of the bar. I don't know how to respond to this. Maybe properly on the third ball of the over.
Man of your age, can you still get hard and juicy? As this time Babar steps back, tries...
Drinking little creatures.
Sorry?
Are you drinking?
Yes, I am.
Ah,
It's a very, very nice beer.
bloody lovely beer. You're making me miss it somewhere, actually.
What's this little... So, listeners, can you please write to Prophets Rock, the providers of this New Zealand Pinot, and Little Creatures, the provider of messages this beer, see if they can send some supplies to Guerrilla Cricket in return for product, in belated return for the product placement we are doing on their behalf right now. Naveen, to complete his over and the power play and my ball-by-ball commentary spell, is worked by Zaman out just in front of square on the leg side. The batters complete a hasty single. There's a shy at the stumps. It misses. Had it hit, I think nonetheless they would have been safely in. That completes Naveen's over. 7 runs off it. The 6th of the Pakistan innings, and with it the power play. Pakistan are 38 for 1. They need 110 runs off 84 balls, with 9 wickets in hand, and at the end of the over I will therefore be handing over to the new team, which I think does involve me. I can't remember who else is
It's
involved,
me,
at least,
you bloody talkative bastard. Shut up.
Bear will be talking, and I will try not to interrupt too much.
You're very florid with your language. I know you. The problem is you really don't. Tony's supposed to be back. Tony, you there? Yeah.
Thought I was.
Put your bloody video on.
Here I am.
The real problem with Zoom is that people just don't seem to hear the jingles over the thingy. Luckily, I've got a little volume control, so if you start talking, I just take them down. It's just easier, and then they just play under you rabbiting on.
Yeah, we hear them most of the time, but it's if anyone's making any noise, if that little green box is round your face or anyone's face, and Zoom is playing us that, it's the way Zoom filters.
Yes,
filters
exactly. It will compress everything that's below the level of the speaker, I imagine. Anyway, that's guided by Fakir Zaman down to short third man, who'll get himself a single. He started off blasting it around the park, better than the other day where he